What makes 18 Islamabad so special and how does it stand out from the crowd?
18 has been designed and conceptualized differently from any other project. It is the only project in Pakistan that master plan has been conceptualized by RTKL Callison from the US. The master plan and the urban design, development and architecture has been designed by WATG from the UK. The golf course by International Design Group from Brighton, UK. This product does not exist in Pakistan. We are providing a full destination with homes that are turnkey, they are fully fitted, fully furnished. 18 is not the 18th golf course, but it's 18th district of Islamabad. I am loving Pakistan and I'm willing to stay here. They have the potential of becoming amongst the best in the world. I always feel like coming back home. Egypt is not my home anymore, it's becoming Islamabad.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम, आप देख रहे हैं चैनल 51 और मैं हूं अहमद नादिर। नाजरीन, इस वक्त हम मौजूद हैं 18 के हेड ऑफिस में और अगर आपको 18 के बारे में ज़्यादा इल्म नहीं है तो ये इस्लामाबाद पाकिस्तान का एक नहायत ही महंगा, एक नहायत ही यूनिक और जो है वो मुनफरिद हाउसिंग प्रोजेक्ट है। और इसी हवाले से गुफ्तगू करने के लिए हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं 18 के चीफ़ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर जनाब मिस्टर तारिक हमदी साहब, जिनका ताल्लुक मिस्र से है और उन्होंने पाकिस्तान में एक बहुत भारी सरमायाकारी की है। और मैं समझता हूँ कि पाकिस्तान के लिए ये नहायत ही जो है वो फ़ख्र की बात है कि वहाँ से इतनी भारी सरमायाकारी पाकिस्तान में की गई है। तो आइए इनसे गुफ्तगू करते हैं और इनसे पूछते हैं कि पाकिस्तान में इनका एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा है और 18 का ये जो प्रोजेक्ट है ये पाकिस्तान के हाउसिंग सेक्टर के ऊपर क्या इफेक्ट डालेगा। अस्सलाम वालेकुम मिस्टर हमदी, हाउ आर यू सर, एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस सम ऑफ योर वेरी प्रेशियस टाइम।
Alaikum assalam, thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you very much.
So as you know, Channel 51 has a huge expat following. And they would love to know about 18 and what it has to offer. And we know for a fact that 18 Islamabad is a project which is a very expensive project. It is a very unique project. But we would want to know, with your own words, what makes 18 Islamabad so special and how does it stand out from the crowd?
Okay, first of all, 18 has been designed and conceptualized differently from any other project. It is the only project in Pakistan that master plan has been conceptualized by RTKL Callison from the US. The master plan and the urban design, development and architecture has been designed by WATG from the UK. The golf course by International Design Group from Brighton, UK. And we've had Wimberley Interiors, we have Mindheart, we have ProMag, we have Hill International, we have a lot of local consultants. So we did spend a bit of time on the design of the project and all the particular features of the design, which are very, very different. We've paid attention to everything, and when we say expensive, people are just not used to that kind of product. This product does not exist in Pakistan. We are providing a full destination with homes that are turnkey, they are fully fitted, fully furnished, fully equipped with home appliances and equipment. Your house is built within a certain vernacular and a certain setup and a landscape that is unmatched. It has never been done before. So that's why when we sell, we don't sell plots, we sell homes. And that's why the price is a bit different. But it is not as expensive as people think. If you want the quality that people, specifically the expats, are used to, then you need to pay for the proper construction, you need to pay for raft foundation, you need to pay for imported marble and imported kitchen. You need to do a lot of things. So actually, our sponsors wanted this to be a flagship project and wanted this to be an entry to the Pakistan real estate market. And that's why we're building only on 16% of the land. And though we have approvals to go ground plus 14, we're only going ground plus 6 just to keep the skyline quite consistent and clear. So that's why it is a very unique project, and that's why it is priced a bit differently, but believe me, it's not expensive.
So is this supposed to be a playground for the rich and famous of Islamabad? Because the rates that have been given by 18, no ordinary person shall be able to afford those.
I don't think so. I think we have in our client base so far, we have a lot of young people that bought. We have studios of 700 square foot, and we have 1 bedrooms, and we also have half canal, which is a 10 marla. In phase 2, we do have a 5 marla. I don't think that the playground for the rich, I don't think that the rich will be actually interested in buying the studios and all of that. Having said that, what we're trying to do is we're trying to mix the smaller products with the bigger products in a very nice setting and create an atmosphere like a new lifestyle that will provide for the middle class and the upper middle class. We are thinking of the young guys that have been expatriate for a long time in other countries, working hard, needing to have a pied-à-terre kind of when they return, hassle-free. So we're providing all the services. And believe me, while in the pandemic no one is selling, we are selling. People recognize the quality.
Right. So, Mr. Hamdi, can you tell me something about the breakdown in purchases between the expats and the locals, for example?
Yes, of course. When we started, obviously, we offered the product to the locals, mainly Islamabad, which is our territory, and adjacent cities like Lahore and Islamabad. However, we expanded to Karachi, and we started our offering as well to the UAE, Dubai. We have in Saudi Arabia, some in Qatar, and we do have in London, US, and Canada. So, in terms of breakdown, we can say that we started to run at an 75 to 25%, 75 local, 25% of the expats. But you need to know that it's been 6 months that the market has shifted, and the UAE has become our, let's say, third best performing region. I think that the expats will come heavily once the project is about to be delivered, because what they have been suffering from in the past was that they've invested in a lot of schemes that have not been completed. So we have a lot of contacts in those countries, and people have started to invest a bit more from the expatriates, and the remittances have increased. However, I know for a fact that a lot of people are waiting for the golf course, the first 9 holes to complete, the first few buildings to be there, so that they can have a clear heart and they can come and invest in it. But we have seen a tremendous shift in the past 6-7 months from the expats wanting to actually invest in our company. And the good thing is that we have a lot of expats that are paying 100% of the unit, and that is something that needs to be admired, because that means that they believe in the project, they believe in the developer, and they believe in the whole concept of the project.
Right. Let's talk about the pandemic situation that has been created by the COVID-19. Many projects have been abandoned. What do you have to say about 18 with that respect?
The pandemic situation obviously is very unfortunate for a lot of investors and a lot of developers. However, the way we've approached matters are a bit different. First of all, we have offered our products on 4 years payment plan, and we are taking about 5% from each client quarterly. The other thing is that because we have launched our infrastructure and our construction, on the contrary, we are benefiting as a construction from a lot of incentive have been announced by the Prime Minister, in addition to getting much better prices in terms of from the other contractors and the other, let's say, subcontractors and suppliers that are willing to participate in the project, because a lot of people are suffering now. So they're willing to work with us hand in hand. So we are conceding a bit of our profit as well, but the others as well are doing the same. So I think that the pandemic period, whether it takes 6 months, 1 year or 2 years, is going to be an excellent period for us to take a big leap ahead and build much faster and let's say quicker to deliver on time. It's not going to affect our delivery times, because we have already 350 clients, out of which we are building now more than 230 villas and about 7 pavilion buildings, plus the 9 holes golf course. We've engaged with our consultants, and we're paying them on time. We're paying our contractors on time. Everything is fine. The pandemic has affected the market a little bit, yes, with the uncertainty, yes. But remember that this is a home, and people always need homes. And Pakistan is running at a backlog of 12 million homes that are needed. Even if you tell me that the prices are expensive, but you still have a very good sense of luxury in Pakistan. And I would like to tell you that if houses in Pakistan are designed that each bedroom has an ensuite bathroom, which is not matched in any of the European destinations, neither the Americas, that means that people here have a lot of sense of quality, because everyone wants their own ensuite bathroom, which doesn't happen even in Dubai. You will find a 3-bedroom apartment having 2 baths, not 3. No, here you have a 3-bedroom apartment with 3 baths plus a powder room. So this is a
Absolutely.
sense of luxury, and I think that the pandemic has affected markets, yes, but we haven't been touched too much by the pandemic. On the contrary, we've seen a lot of people coming forward, and I think this runs on credibility and reputation.
Mr. Hamdi, let's go to the tough question now. Land ownership is an issue which is a huge problem in Pakistan. Many housing projects, they don't provide clean land ownership to their customers. What has 18 in mind with respect to that? How are you going to deal with the issue of clean title and land ownership?
One of our forte points, and we are very lucky to have that, is that our sponsors, which are Aura developers, Mr. Naguib Sawiris, and the SAFE Group, and Adil, which is KBD Kohistan, basically the Aura Group and the SAFE Group have actually brought in Mobilink, which is Jazz right now, about 15, 16 years ago. When they highlighted the importance of having a piece of land, before they sold it to the Wimpelcom, the Russians and all of that, they have highlighted a nice piece of land, and they've had the vision to acquire 4,839 canals nearby the airport, all including Milkiyah and Qabza, which is possession and ownership. And all of this land has been registered in their name. So stretching on a 1.2 kilometer on the Kashmir Highway, which is the main link road leading to the airport, only 10 minutes away from the airport and about 5-6 minutes away from Lahore, Peshawar, Sawat and Abu Tabat highways. This piece of land was strategically chosen because they knew at that time that there was plan to build the airport over there. So 12, 13 years ago, they started to acquire this land, which took a bit of time because you know of all the pockets and the farmers, the things that you're talking about, but everyone has been paid off and everyone has cleared the land. So now we're working on the land which we own 100%. So what we are doing is we have developed a sales purchase agreement for our clients to own the land where we give them the title with the house. So at 100% payment and full completion, the owners will get a full title for the land. This full title has been we've submitted all the documents to RDA, which is Rawalpindi Development Authority. The access is going to be granted by national highway authorities. So all of these authorities have actually checked the ownership documents, Tahsil Dar and the Patwaris and the revenue and all of that. I've been quite an expert in this. Now we have our plan, our sanction scheme has been sanctioned, has been approved. All the plots have been actually demarked and quite sized well, and every plot comes with its own freehold 100% title for the client that is buying. And this is a very big point that we have because we're not facing any issues of land so far.
All right, that's wonderful. Mr. Hamdi, let's talk about the maintenance charges. The present housing projects in Pakistan, they have very hiked maintenance charges, and the customers, they don't have any control over what the maintenance charges are going to be. How does 18 plan to deal with that?
Okay, so because you know Aura Developers, our main sponsor, that is a majority shareholder, has a lot of developments around the world. So we do have developments in the Caribbean, we have developments in Montenegro, in Egypt, on the Red Sea, we have in Cyprus, and we also have a lot in other countries in the world, around the world. We do have as well a chain of hotels, Silver Sands and all of that. So Aura Developers and Naguib Sawiris have very strong operations from facility management and service management in general as companies, and they have know-hows. We are actually forming an SPV, a facility management company, and this company will actually work on the maintenance of the homes. We are aware that the prices that are running in Pakistan need to be controlled. So we did communicate to our clients that we are running on a 4 rupee per square foot per month, which is a very low figure for this. So how are we intend to compensate on all of that? We do have a clubhouse in the middle of the development and a golf course that has a lot of amenities and facilities. We intend to run a model of a lot of other revenues coming in, recurring revenues coming from the hiring of all the facilities like tennis courts and squash courts and football courts and other facilities and green fees of the golf, all to participate and contribute to the facilities and maintenance charges. Again, having built with the highest standards, knowing that, for example, we are installing Mitsubishi elevators in all the apartment building, we have 28 pavilions. You need to know that by choosing the most expensive kind of elevator scheme, it comes with 20 years warranties, it comes with maintenance, comes with a lot of things. If you check on our fittings and our quality and the things that we've chosen, like we're choosing Hacker kitchens, for example, from Germany, we're choosing Mitsubishi elevators, we're choosing Calcutta marble, Ariston marble from Greece. We have a lot of high quality items that will actually, you might be paying for them right now, but at the same time it will save you a lot on the maintenance later on. So we have a model that's running on a low cost and very efficient model. For the water and the irrigation, we're running on reduced water because we have the advantage as well of having a very nice topography. We have proper water streams coming through and a lot of storm water that will be used for irrigation, which is natural water flowing. We have different in levels between 0 and 90. So the water is flowing and all the nullas are flowing naturally. So the water actually we will do a lot of saving on the water. And people will not have to worry about the maintenance of the golf course or the landscape surrounding. Right. The roads and everything else has been built to the highest standards. So.
Right. Mr. Hamdi, we all know that 18 has announced some very big projects, for example, some big shopping malls, some big hotels, schools and hospitals. You will definitely need some big names with you, yes. In order to make that sell. Do you already have some agreements with some of the big names out there?
Yes, I'll give you just one example, which I think is a very clear example on how attractive we are. The China giant, state-owned, Gezuba, CGGC, are the largest contractor in Pakistan. They have selected their headquarters to be within 18, and they actually signed an agreement to buy a commercial building, which is their main headquarters, and a residential building. So, having attracted them at the price that we are selling, I think that is a big milestone that we've achieved, because they are one big credible name and they are state-owned and they have contracts for more than $60 billion within Pakistan. The other thing is that we have had Saudi German hospital dealing with us. We've had the Kulsum International Hospital with doctors from America dealing with us. We actually have investors from Dubai, UAE, who actually bought the school and would like to develop it as a Canadian brand. We also, for the hotel, we've signed with Silver Sands. Silver Sands is in the Caribbean. It's a 7-star diamond, so we've signed with them. With regards to the mall, we are thinking of changing maybe our design to have a village, a retail village and all of that. But with regards to the malls, our main sponsor has very, very good ties with Ashaya from Kuwait for the high street brands that we could bring in. I had very fruitful meetings with Ham TV owners, Mr. Doraid, who wants to have his shooting studios over there, all the studios and the Cinemaplex, and plenty of plans that he has announced that he would like to bring. And we were actually talking about this a couple of days ago. The Jong Group or Chang Group, I'm not so sure about the name, but they have come to us as well. A lot of people are coming to us, and a lot of people, we don't have a lot of inventory. We have 2,000 homes and we have a very few commercial opportunities. This is a scheme that is about quality, about lifestyle. It's not about density. It's not about selling to anyone. It's not about providing everything to everyone. It's about just having 2,000 homes, only 1,000 homes on the Gulf and 1,000 apartments overlooking the Gulf. And it's a very high quality scheme. So that's why we are confident about that.
Right. Mr. Hamdi, you talked about golf. I love golf. You must love golf. Is there any golf course around the world or in Pakistan with which you would like to compare your golf courses, which you are constructing in 18?
Okay. Our golf course in Pakistan is incomparable with any other golf course. And the reason for that is that, like I told you, from the very Kashmir highway to the very end of the project, we have a differential in level of -90 challenging. The golf course has been designed by International Design Group. We have used all the natural resources and landscape of Pakistan, which is beautiful. And you know how Islamabad is so nice and the topography is so nice and very green. So we've used and we have shaped our golf course around the contour of the existing landscape and topography. So we have 13 natural lanas going through. All the water is flowing very naturally and very nice. In addition to those dunes and collines and all of that make it so attractive as a golf course that this has not been done. Most of the golf courses in Pakistan are very nice, but they have used a lot of the flat kind of areas and to be developed. Our golf course has been designed by the best. International Design Group is the first in Europe and it's the third in the world. And they have created a golf course that is 7,200 yards long, that is championship, ATP, whatever, name it. Even we got interest from PGA to come and run it for us. So we have a very different golf course. I'm not a golfer, so I wouldn't be able to relate this to the ones in Spain and the one in Italy and the one in the US, but I guarantee you that we are going to have championship and we have a lot of people that are interested in our golf course, and they've shown interest already.
All right, Mr. Hamdi, how have you found the authorities in Pakistan, the red tape in Pakistan? Because that is one thing that many foreign investors really have to face.
Yes.
And be part of that question is that have you ever regretted your decision to come to Pakistan and invest such an amount of money?
Well, I'm Egyptian, and I work for a group that is partly Egyptian, partly Pakistani. Naguib Sawiris, the chairman of Aura Developers, is in love with Pakistan like no other country. He considers this as equal as Egypt. And he has invested a lot in Pakistan, and he doesn't wish to take any money out of Pakistan. On the contrary, whatever profits are made here, he intends to invest again and again and again and stay as long as he can. And this is the message he conveyed to me when I was in London, and he chose me to become the chief executive. And now I'm in love with Pakistan as well. I've been here 3 years, and my contract has been extended for an additional 3 years, and I would like to retire here. I'm still 52, so still a long way ahead. However, I hope I can deliver this project fruitfully and nicely. The authorities so we've never regretted, to answer your question, we've never regretted, although we're facing a lot of difficulties, which is any developer would face around the world, and in Egypt specifically as well is a bit the same. However, what is very important to note is that I think that Pakistan just need one step more for the authorities to actually to all come together and help the investor or the developer do it. Here, every authority works on its own. So CDA works on its own, RDA works on its own, NHA works on its own. You have other, like Board of Investment works on its own. All the authorities, Electrical, WAPDA, and DSCO, and LASCO, all of these guys, they do their job perfectly well, but they do it on their own. They don't communicate too well amongst each other. So when it's a Pakistani guy or a Pakistani developer, it's much easier because they know the system. But when a developer or a foreign investor comes on board, it's very important to create this one body, this one-stop shop, where we come in, we form the company, we bring in the investment, we get all the approval from that authority specifically. This has not been the case for us. And I've been talking about this for the past 2 years, and I actually urge the government and the Prime Minister to enhance that, which they are working on, but basically to create a one-stop shop, which is like an investment authority, which would be the job of the board of investment kind of authority. Saudi Arabia have been suffering from that. When I was CEO of High Economic City, they've created what they called the Saudi Arabian General Investment Authority. That's a one-stop shop. Everything takes 24 hours to be done, and all the approvals are through there. To give you a very small example is that we've been granted a NOC or a scheme, what is a planned scheme sanction for our project in November 2017. We've got a renewed one in November 2018 and 19. So everything has been smooth with RDA. However, they gave us a housing scheme, but there was no access from the Kashmir Highway to that scheme. So we had to talk to NHA to actually follow a policy and pay them fees and redo the whole set of documentation with NHA to get the access. Now we are in the process of finalizing the access. We've paid the fee. They give us almost a provisional acceptance, which inshallah we will get in the next month or so. So we will have an access, but we shouldn't have had as a developer to run after the access if already RDA has given us a sanctioned scheme, housing scheme. We're following the rules by the book, but these guys are helping us, but each one on their own. Had we had an investment authority or one body, we would be talking to that body. He would give us the planning scheme sanction, he would give us the access approval and everything. And this body will be talking to the Prime Minister and the government. This is the right way of doing things, and I sincerely think that if this one step is achieved, there will be no more delays in Pakistan, and there will be an open appetite for all the investors to come on board.
So, Mr. Hamdi, the biggest problem in Pakistan is shortage of electricity, shortage of water, and shortage of gas. How does 18 plan to deal with this situation? Because when someone is going to buy, a property at such a rate, they will not want to deal with that situation.
Okay, yes, of course, this is a very good question. What we have done differently than all the other developments, usually the other developments, like a lot of them in Lahore or Karachi, what they do is they use power generation, whether on dual fuel, furnace fuel, or diesel. The rates are usually high, the maintenance is very high, people are worried about the electricity, the gas, and what happens. So we started by taking approval from ESCO on 32 megawatts, which we got. So we got a NOC for 32 megawatts from ESCO, which is the main grid station of Islamabad. We also got a knock from the SNGPL, which is the gas provider, and we have all the approval for the capacities. But looking at electricity and gas, we did not want to engage ourselves as a developer in doing such a thing, just to ensure, first of all, the quality, the maintenance, and the lower rates, because people need to have lower rates. So we did sign an agreement with TAQA. TAQA are an Emirati provider of electricity and gas. They are specialized in energy, and they are going to be the ones that are going to operate and invest jointly with us into the whole networks and the grid stations. The idea would be not only to be hooked to the grid station, but also to have a power backup generation from diesel generator running on gas. And to ensure that the rates are low, we are doing wheeling agreements with the government on some solar as well energy, so that to bring the rates below the 16 rupee per unit on electricity, which is what people are actually paying now. We are even thinking of bringing it much lower. We do not have a final figure yet, but with TAQA, with the kind of equipment and their know-how, there will be savings on the networks, but also savings on the operations, and ensuring operations smoothly without any problems on the maintenance and anything else. So that's with regards to electricity and gas. So we will build our own power plant with power generation, with solar. We will use the roofs of the houses and some of the facilities actually to have the proper electricity and the proper rates. And on the gas, they will also build their own power plant, the gas plant itself, with the help and the approval of SNGPL to provide gas for the whole community. When it comes to water, again, we are using, first of all, we have about 12 or 14 wells. We are blessed by having those wells at very close range from the ground. It's about 400 feet depth, and between 300 to 400 feet depth. And these wells are going to be used for potable water. But you need to know as well that because of the topography of the project, we have two very large reservoirs and lakes. We are building 2 dams and weirs to be able to preserve this water, that's storm water and rainwater, that is going to flow all the way through our waterways via the south. So this water will be used for irrigation of the golf course and the landscapes and all the public areas. Nevertheless, we're also using what they call responsive drip irrigation. Responsive drip irrigation works on the roots of the plantations and the greeneries, so it saves about 60% of the water. So we are very aware of that. We are working on a tree and environment preservation. We are not going to emit any CO2. We're going to be very aware to have white smoke coming out of any of our facilities. Zero emission European standards, plus tree preservation, greenery preservation, environment preservation. We are very careful about that. One thing that also is important to note is that we are installing oil filters and separators to make sure that the water is very clean. And if you look over the last 100 years, you will see that in Islamabad, every year there is at least 1.2 meters of water on every square meter of land. And we have about 2.3 million square meter of land. So imagine the amount of water that you can collect from storm and rainwater. So the technology is there, and inshallah, they won't have any problems.
That is wonderful. I am absolutely convinced about the potential of 18. But now the million-dollar question, does 18 plan to launch only this project, or does it plan to expand? What are your plans for the future?
Okay, 18 was built not as a brand for the development company, but as the main location. 18 is not the 18 golf course, but it's 18th district of Islamabad, because Islamabad has been planned up to district 17. So we are building 18 as an 18th district. We do plan other projects in Islamabad. We have recently, Naguib, as Sawiris has also spoken with for Naya Pakistan on the housing. And we are expecting to be part of that housing project in general for the low income, or let's say economic housing kind of thing. We are looking at sites in Karachi, we're looking at sites in Lahore. We are very interested in launching other projects, but we need to focus on delivering our first batch. And the minute we deliver our first batch in December 21, and we are on time, people believe in us, and we gain all this credibility. We need to show the people that we're delivering on the promise, and that is one project of many, like I told you. I am loving Pakistan and I'm willing to stay here, and should the group trust me, I'll be willing to engage with them in all the other ventures and new projects.
That is absolutely wonderful, Mr. Hamdi. Let's say the people who are watching this video are really interested in buying property in 18. How should they go about getting information?
The information, our project, obviously the site is very accessible. We have a huge marquee on the site as a sales center, so if they're ever passing by, you have 50,000 cars passing by every day on the main link road, either going to the airport, coming from Lahore, coming from Peshawar, Sawat or Abbottabad, or even coming from Islamabad. They can stop by at any given time and we have a full team that can give them information. Apart from that, you have obviously our website, our Facebook page, Instagram. We are everywhere on the digital media, and now we are with you, so they can see us. I'm available. I'm a guy that works all the time from the field. We are there to deliver. They can have access to me, they can come and meet me. All the team are available. We have an open door policy, and all the information is on our website. We share everything, we share all our schedule, and the site is open for frequently visit with the clients. We are not prohibiting anyone to come and even have their own. They just pass by the sales office and then they will take them over there. That's it. So basically we're everywhere. I'm not a tech guy, but I can tell you that we are on all the platforms that you can imagine, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, and WhatsApp, obviously, and our team, and the website.
Absolutely wonderful. The last but not the least, and certainly the most important question, how was your overall experience living in Pakistan since the past 3 years?
Well, I am an Egyptian guy. I've been raised in Belgium. I have British and Egyptian nationalities. I've been around the world. I worked in Philippines and Tunisia. I worked in Libya, I worked in Saudi Arabia, I worked in Kuwait, I worked in England and in Scotland. Obviously I worked in Egypt as well on the Red Sea. My experience in Pakistan has been the best. My first best experience was in Egypt on the Red Sea, which was a very nice atmosphere and a nice development called Port Ghalib. Now that I've been here for the past 3 years, I can tell you that my experience here is absolutely stunning. I love the place. I love Islamabad specifically. It's a beautiful place, blessed with natural beauty. I've been to the north a couple of times. I've been to Lahore and Karachi. Each has a different feel and type and feel. Lahore is very cultural and very nice. The food is exquisite. Karachi is the business buzzing place, but you have the sea as well, and you have all the development. The food is also equally as nice, but a bit too spicy. However, I enjoy the people. I enjoy the culture. I mix very well. I don't have any problems. We get along. Arabic, Urdu, Pashto even. Pashto is a bit more difficult, but Urdu I can get. And we manage. I don't think that we've integrated as an Egyptian developer so well in Pakistan that it's a shame that between Egypt and Pakistan there are no direct flights. That's what I would say, because I think that a lot of Egyptians would love to come here. And I would recommend anyone, even though we faced a lot of hurdles at the beginning like any other developer, but I would recommend everyone to come and invest in Pakistan. I share the passion that Naguib Sawiris has shared. Naguib Sawiris discovered this 14 years ago. I'm discovering only 3 years ago, but I intend to stay here. I would love to retire here, and I enjoy it so well. And when I travel, I always feel like coming back home. Egypt is not my home anymore. It's becoming Islamabad.
So, Mr. Tariq, what would you say about the people of Pakistan? You've been living here for 3 years. How did you find the people of this nation?
Okay, the people of this nation have great potential. I have been working with Pakistanis, not only our team, but also all the other stakeholders, the suppliers, contractors, laborers. I've integrated myself quite well in the community, and I can say that they want to grow. People of Pakistan, they want to grow. They have the potential of becoming the best, actually, maybe not the best in the world, but amongst the best in the world. A lot of quality in the individuals, a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge. I was very happy with the way they outspoken in English and the way they deal with things, the exposure that they have. Even though sometimes, some places in Pakistan, you have a bit of poverty and all of that, but they have a very good exposure. I've never had any problems walking in the streets, neither did I see any foreigner, blonde or white or blue or whatever it is, it's all the same. No one had any issues walking around, whether it's in Lahore, Karachi or Islamabad or all the other cities. I've been to the north. I've seen warmth everywhere, different cultures, lots of potential. The country itself is very diverse. It's diverse not only in the way it presents itself from natural beauties and landscapes, but also museums, lots of culture. You need to remember that Pakistan has 5,000 years of heritage and civilization. The Gandhara and the old Indus Valley and all of that. It's very similar to Egypt, 5,000 years of old pharaohs kind of thing. I think that countries that have that in them, they have so much potential, and the reason why everyone is fighting them is because they don't want them to grow, because the minute these civilizations pick up back again, they will actually take over the world. So I think that my experience here has been extremely nice. Yes, of course, we're facing people who don't want to work sometimes, but that's, I think, everywhere. Even in Europe, you find that. I think that the people in Pakistan, amongst the destinations where I worked in, are the best. I've had much better experience here than Saudi Arabia, than Philippines, than Libya, than Tunisia, everywhere. Cooperative, very cooperative, wanting to work unlimited number of hours, not a problem, as long as we deliver. They need training, they need to be, we need to invest more in the people, but that's what you need to do everywhere around the world. But they're more exposed and more willing to actually build this country. They are in love with the country, they have a lot of patriotism, and they feel good about Pakistan and about the new government and about taking it forward. Lots of pride. The army is the core of the nation. It's a bit like Egypt. The army is also the core of the nation. They have a lot of pride in the way they study and the way they deal with people, which is a great thing. I think this all comes from the heritage and the civilization that they've had.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tariq Hamdi, for your time. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful meeting.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Thank you.